What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning to everybody out there. Certainly good morning to everybody in the Algorand ecosystem. We're going through a rough time. By all accounts, we're experiencing a massive L, a loss, a massive L for the Algorand community. I am sorry that this is happening. I wish it wasn't, but here we are, and we need to get to the bottom of it, everybody. So let's turn on the chat. Let's take a look. Good morning, Coop. Justin, what's going on? John Mazzoni, thank you for showing up. GM to you, my friend. I saw an alert to update Chrome, so maybe it was an underlying browser vulnerability. I don't think so, sir. I don't think it is that. We have the good fortune today of having D13 join me. He will get all of your questions answered. It's a much better source than just listening to me. But folks, I do want to say one thing before I dive in and we get D13 up here. Is that, we are in a decentralized ecosystem. You are responsible for you're the responsible custodian for your keys and your crypto. This is the game, right? This is what we're doing. And not to say, I'm not trying to point fingers and say somebody has made a mistake and you lost your money because of that. My point is that when I started rattling the bell about MyAlgo, I became a fudster. I became somebody that was doing something wrong. Supposedly, we're supposed to wait for the adults in the room to come up with some fancy report in 2 days, and they'll tell us, oh, yes, please, sir, tell me what you come up with when you're talking to the same damn people I'm talking to. So listen, I know that some of my stuff that I'm putting out there on Twitter can be, oh, shit, it's this. Is it phishing? Is it this? Is this? But the main point a couple of days ago, I made is there is a more than 0% chance that your funds on MyAlgo are not safe. Okay. So when you hear that, the most logical thing to do is to consider your options. And now you are the risk manager for your portfolio. You know that this wacko that wears Hawaiian shirts that does talk to a lot of people in the ecosystem is concerned about MyAlgo. So it's on you to make your decision whether I'm an idiot or not. Okay. Well, now you're like, okay, well, obviously he's an idiot. But does he know something? That is the deal. All right. So now you have to make a decision. Do you move your stuff off of MyAlgo out of abundance of caution? Now, fortunately, this isn't even a problem yet because it does appear that the person, if it's true, which I guess we have not been complete, it's not sure that MyAlgo has been compromised, and we'll talk to D13 about what it exactly is that is potentially happening. If it's true that is happening, oh man, it is early for me to be on a high horse like this. But if that is true, then yeah, I don't know. What's my point? My point is, guys, in this kind of chaos that we're in, like you have to take care of yourself. That's my point. Sorry. So my point is that it appears that this person, that if it's an exploit that they can get to all the accounts, they have to go through this one by one. So if you have 45,000 JPEGs that they have to opt into, you're probably fine. All right. But I don't know. I don't know that for sure. So anyways, all we know is that they are MyAlgo wallets that have been signed into recently, and there are no ledgers involved. All right. So if you have a MyAlgo wallet and it's secured by a ledger, you're in good shape, I think. All right. Now there are options for you to rekey your accounts through a Para wallet desktop, which I think that they're pushing out an update soon. And then DFly is another option. Or you can very simply, if you have you can open a Para wallet right now. And if you have maybe some very expensive JPEGs that would make you very, very upset if you were to lose, you can send those to that wallet right now. Oh my God. Do not hold any size on MyAlgo at this point. All right. Now, this is a problem. Now, I say that, and that's easier said than done, because a lot of you are like, well, wait, I don't want to ruin my governance participation. Is that what I have to do? I don't want to panic, move that, disqualify myself from governor, and so it's hard, and that's why we have D13 on the show today. Anyways, so let's see. Is there anybody in here? It's a mess, David. No ledger, so not sure what to do for now. Scary times. I'll just hope it's safe and guard. Oh man, I wouldn't want to do that. How much is hacked? I think we'll talk to D13 about how much is hacked, but it's not small, folks. One consequence of guard being affected is that we secured the protocol as soon as possible and are in all the conversations. I will move to Ledger as soon as governance is over. Oh man, yeah, a lot of ledgers being bought this week. Yep, for sure. So Coop saying JPEG degens are protecting themselves by being degens. I think we all knew this in the back of our minds. Not many Algorand DeFi protocols support rekeyed Algorand wallets. Now this is the issue, folks. This is the issue. So I mean, yes, you can rekey, and this and D13 will help you with this. If there is a possibility for you to maintain your governorship status, that is the question of the day. That is what we will be talking to him about. And frankly, I want to say this. This is bullshit. Solana restarts a restart this weekend, and this is what I have to talk about. Sorry. I mean, I had so many jokes. I had a whole show planned, and I have to accommodate this. Just kidding. Sorry, guys. Good point, MJ. I'm baby governor. It's okay, baby governor. It's going to be okay. Good point at Michael Jordan. It's a top priority for Guard. Thank you, Guard. Thank you, Copper Daniels. Next time, just put those 2 O's in there, Dragon. All right. Hey, guys. Poor Cooper. Poor Copper. Guys, poor Copper. You know what I mean? Poor Copper. All right. Let's bring D13 in. D13, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
I'm okay. So you heard my question. I know that you came out with a I can pull this up too, actually. Why don't we, is it on your, did you tweet the document that you
No, that is not released yet. We were planning to release a community advisory, strictly precautionary, to recommend rekeying either with DFly or with another major wallet, which is planning to roll out rekeying as not only as a first-class support on the mobile client, but in the desktop client as well, to actually initiate a rekeying.
Okay.
I have a few comments already. I do believe that rekeyed accounts are supported on most DeFi protocols. I think Ledger itself was an issue with Algo 5 v1, but you could still use a soft rekeyed. Let's say that an account that is rekeyed to another software account, it's a soft rekey account, and a Ledger one is a hard rekeyed account. So soft rekeyed accounts, I believe, worked with even with Algo 5 v1. So I don't think that is particularly concerning. So just to set the status here, there is cause for concern. I'm not sure that there is cause for panic.
Good.
The concern is there is a non-zero chance that the MyAlgo wallet itself has been compromised. So to give a little bit of background of why I am here and why I have some authority to speak on this subject, in case you haven't followed it, we became aware of this attack and started investigating it within 24 hours of it happening. There's even, funnily enough, evidence on-chain of D13.algo pinging one of the address that has now been confirmed to have been compromised to get in touch on Twitter.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Hey, Bit, can you go back and say what you just said again? My apologies.
We've been on this since about 20 hours after the attacks.
Okay, good.
We saw a message on Twitter about a guy losing a significant amount of money. I believe over 1 million algo was the initial message.
Yes.
And we somewhat quickly identified other accounts and then even more accounts. We put out a list, I believe, within the first few days of governors that suddenly became ineligible in a like strange pattern. I think it was about 13 addresses that we marked on the first or second day as suspicious or highly suspicious, and out of those, 12 have come forward to have been confirmed compromised. and a further 5 new addresses have been confirmed. So we are talking about 17 addresses in total so far that we know. And the
Okay.
other thing to note is that the lowest amount that these people have bothered with is about 250K algo, plus or minus a bit. I don't actually have this data in front of me.
Okay.
And that they have left up to, I believe, 80K algo on the table, so to speak. They compromised an account which had one very big account, a medium one, and the small one was 80K, and they left that one alone.
Okay, so you're
Um,
saying that they had access to an account with 80K algo and they just chose not to take it.
Correct.
Okay.
So all of that said, these 17 addresses, they are not 17 distinct users, as some users had multiple, but we estimate the losses at this point to be over 7 million USD in various tokens. So this is a compromise that is actually in monetary losses larger than the entire Solana wallet compromise, even if it's coming from just 17 accounts.
Jesus.
Yeah, and basically we identified um, some more victims came forward. We formed a Twitter group in order to collect information. We heard some interviews kind of in an ad hoc manner, and we started establishing some theories. It doesn't really matter to go through each one of them and why they were eliminated, but like an Apple vulnerability was released something like 6 or 7 days ago, was patched. So that was suspected, but it was eliminated along with other things.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, there are two major possibilities. One is that all of these people were phished, and two is that these people were actually targeted through the MyAlgo wallet itself. The following has been eliminated, at least in our investigation, and I should note that at some point in the week, our like 1 month show was joined by Vantage Blockchain, which is the company that has audited Folks Finance, Nimble Insurance, as I'm sure you know, and then we in our group right now we also have John Woods of the Algorand Foundation. I believe Gary Maluk from Algorand Inc. is in there, as well as people from Rand Labs, Pera Algo Wallet. So it is now a full-on investigation, and the investigative burden, let's say, is fully shared with Vantage and Nimble right now. So this is taken very, very seriously. We did not jump to any conclusions, and we even considered things like weak entropy in key generation. We eliminated it. We didn't seriously consider it, but we did actually eliminate by checking the entropy of a few generated keys.
Okay. Let me
So
go ahead.
yeah,
Well, I was just going to say, can we? Okay, so you're from what I'm hearing is that you have narrowed it down to two general possibilities, right? One is that these people were phished, or this was targeted, maybe malware, or and they were able to access these people's computers because of the small amount of people. Now, you're saying that only about 17 known accounts are hacked, and some of those 17 accounts are the same people, but just with different wallets, which would which kind of would lead somebody to think, okay, well, is this malware? Is that possible? I mean, I have heard from people involved with Guard and stuff like that, that several VCs that they know have been affected. Now, when I hear that, that makes it sound like there's more than 17. So, but you're saying that there's only about 17 confirmed wallets that had been affected.
we have looked fairly extensively.
Mm-hmm.
All of these thefts occurred within the space of 24 hours.
Okay.
Most of them were even concentrated temporarily, even more than that, within 3 or 4, I believe. We haven't seen anything other than that, and most of the times these patterns are fairly distinct. That said, we haven't been looking the entire week.
Got it.
Um,
And if have we seen has there been any activity in the last 12, have we seen any funds being moved lately, or was it isolated to one time frame?
I'm not aware of anything having happened since basically the previous Monday.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's good.
Most of the actions happened on the late 19th February and throughout the 20th of February. There are some funds parked on chain, so to speak, in new accounts, and there are some funds in certain exchanges. One of them, I mean, this is public, so I can share that. It is Change Now, who have also published that they have detected and frozen about 1.5 million worth of USDC and algo related to this attack. So this is actually fairly good news for the people involved and affected by this. Not for the people involved, but for the people affected. Right.
Right. And so, and is that the only exchange that we're seeing these funds landing on, or are we seeing these funds landing on Binance and other exchanges as well?
There is another route to another exchange, but we're not certain what about the circumstances exactly. We know where to direct law enforcement to inquire, but I can't say right now definitively that it is going there. And I wouldn't anyway because this is not public and not really relevant.
Gotcha.
I'd like to run you through a few things that we have eliminated, starting from the very basics. So public key cryptography, and especially the ED25519 elliptic curve crypto that protects the Algorand accounts, they are absolutely secure. They're not guessable. They're not breakable.
Got it.
The Algorand protocol itself is not exploited. It worked as intended. These transactions were signed with the correct key, and they were either payment, algo payment, or asset transfer transactions. There's a thing called a delegated logic signature, which is kind of an authorization to spend money on your behalf. Those were not involved. Rekeying was also not involved. We ruled out weak key generation and entropy-related issues. And also, you touched upon malware before. This was actually two things that we were considering initially was the iOS and Mac OS thing because of the timing.
Yeah.
It was patched 6 days before these attacks.
Yeah.
And just to note that when Apple puts out a patch like this about a vulnerability that allows a remote code execution on Safari, there's going to be a time lag between the release of the patch and the majority updating that makes it worth a lot of money for cyber criminals to try to reverse engineer the patch and try to figure out where it is, because you might have a sliding window a couple of weeks where you can actually, exploit something that is not patched in an environment that is otherwise considered very, very secure.
Okay.
So the macOS and iOS vulnerabilities were, right. I guess I should rewind and say that after gathering some ideas about the overall environment, we created a questionnaire of 48 questions spanning 8 pages, and we systematically collected information from the affected users that we could get at least. We have not been able to reach all of them. Okay. Some of them are institutional investors indeed, who other people are speaking, and that we haven't gotten them to fill it in. But of the people that we could rule out Mac and iOS vulnerabilities entirely.
Good.
We had both Windows and Linux, and people who just would not be exposed through iOS, either through iOS with MyAlgo or with Para. We also ruled out both browser-wide and operating system-wide malware, because in many of the cases, these people who had their MyAlgo wallets compromised somehow, or rather, the seeds that were in MyAlgo, they also had MetaMask or Solana wallets with literally millions of dollars that were left untouched. So if this were a desktop malware that was targeting crypto whales, I believe that the first thing to go would have been MetaMask.
Of course.
So yeah, we were kind of ruling that out based on that. So, I mean, none of this stuff is definitive proof, but, and again, I'm not here to drop a bombshell.
I bet I'm losing you. This isn't the time I want to lose you. Are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Can everybody hear me? Are we good with me on my end, guys? Can you
I
put it in
can
the
hear
comments?
me and I can hear you.
Okay, good. We're back. Good. All right.
Okay, we can hear each other.
All right, cool.
I was about to say that none of this is definitive, but it kind of guides and eliminates the avenues that you're pursuing.
Okay.
And I should also note that we are not like dumb enough to eliminate something just based on one data point.
Of course.
If just one person said I was using a kite, we wouldn't, base it just on that.
Got it.
Furthermore, so this leaves us basically to two possibilities. Either the keys were somehow lost, right? And either these people gave them away or they were attacked somehow in a fashion that only affected MyAlgo in target browsers that also had millions in other crypto. So there are not very many possibilities that remain.
Right.
And then we are prepared to accept that phishing exists. And we are prepared to accept that some of these people may have been compromised and be lying about it for whatever reason, which is counterintuitive, because if you knew you gave away your seed phrase somewhere and you told the investigators, you would be more likely to be, to actually get your money back, find the perpetrators, figure out who built the site.
Yeah, you're helping the people figure this out. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And you also
it isn't about embarrassment, really. I mean, the bickering you see on Twitter is not the kind of thing that goes on in the group.
And I think this is a good opportunity to say to Guard that, commend Guard for coming out, because it's not a great look for them to say, hey, we had a MyAlgo wallet that wasn't, wasn't in cold storage and we lost a lot of our runway. So that was probably a difficult decision for them to make. So this is what we need, is we need people to come out and say that. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
I mean, look, it's easy to be like an armchair quarterback and say, oh, these people were completely stupid because they weren't using a ledger. The difference between I wasn't using a ledger and I gave away my seed phrase while having millions is they're not quite next door to each other. Okay. And there are some reasons why you would sometimes not use a ledger, even though personally, if I had such amounts, I probably would. However, if you need to operate on them every day, if you need to operate on them programmatically, then perhaps you wouldn't, because you would assume that your environment is secure. And if it is indeed a MyAlgo compromise, then the environment was, indeed secure aside from that.
Yeah.
So there is a non-zero chance here.
And there's good reasons for it. And then there's also, from, I guess on my end, there's a thin line between making this a teachable moment for everybody to secure their crypto, but not tipping over to shaming the victims that have lost, potentially millions, and most people, at least hundreds of thousands of US dollars. So go ahead.
We can get into that maybe a little bit later, but okay. I was disappointed by a severe lack of empathy.
There's a severe lack of empathy,
both on Twitter and on Reddit to people who have lost what we would call generational wealth and what we are aspiring for ourselves. If someone has already lost a bunch of money and is not a native English speaker and is not expressing themselves to your liking, and you're calling them anyway, I think you know the point I'm trying to make. I would like to.
I understand.
I would like to move on to some observations that have led me to considerable doubt that it might not be phishing. First of all, consider that this is one of the most successful phishing attempts, if it is so, because it has not been noticed by any other whales. It managed to get, I don't know, 2 or 3 orders of magnitude more funds than any other phishing campaign that we have seen. It all happened within 24 hours. So presumably these guys, had these seed phrases for months, years, and didn't move the funds. That doesn't necessarily make sense. And from the data we collected, the only commonality was MyAlgo. There was no governance, was not a commonality. Governance NFTs were not a commonality. No single dApp was a commonality. We also looked into Guard since we heard that one of their wallets were exposed. We were like, maybe a browser exploit delivered through Guard or something. No, that was not a commonality. That was not their front end is in fact open source, so you could go and check yourself if you like.
Yeah.
And finally, the responses we got in the sheets. Sorry, the other commonalities that they had MyAlgo and they had logged in within, I believe the range was the day of the attack up to 4 weeks ago. So if we suppose that there has been a MyAlgo compromise, and again this hasn't been confirmed, but I'm gonna then potentially it may have been like a month or a month and a half before the attack. That's the time range of unlocks we have been looking at. So it would be a good point to mention that when your MyAlgo is locked, when your computer is offline or you're on your browser but not on the MyAlgo page, your seed phrase is not accessible. The password that you use when you unlock your seed phrase encrypts the seed phrase about 1 million times. This is meant to make brute forcing that password and cracking that password as hard as possible. Like clearly, if your password is test or Bitcoin, it's going to be easy to crack, but still it's going to take some time if it is a secure password.
Okay.
And so the commonalities were MyAlgo and having visited MyAlgo, unlocked MyAlgo in the past 2 weeks. No connecting new sites, no signing transactions or even failed transactions, which we wouldn't see on chain. That's another thing we asked for. And finally, I'd like to touch a little bit on the profile of these people. I mean, yes, it's possible that they were all phished. It would be an unprecedented result from a phisher. I'd like to sit down with this guy and figure out how he managed to do this, because this is outstanding work and in such a short time. Like, this guy has a bright career ahead of him.
Or you know, prison.
Or that.
Okay. Right career in prison.
The other thing I want to note is the behaviors exhibited and from these people affected in the chat. Okay, I want to bring up one particular example.
Okay.
There was a guy who distrusted someone from Rand Labs itself. Someone sent them a link and they asked me to confirm that this guy is legit, and the guy made the MyAlgo wallet. And my person who was affected, my user, was doubting someone from there, just double checking, not even asking to click the link. He's like, I'm not clicking that anyway. I'm just letting you know that he sent me a link.
Okay. Well, so they're suspicious of everybody at this.
I mean, they seem aware. They seem suspicious.
If you lose 1 million algo, your risk tolerance probably plummets. To be fair.
Right. Maybe something about the barn door after the horses fled, but yeah, they seem aware of these things. And there's people who have been in DeFi for a long time. There's institutional people. There's people who have publicly desired NFTs worth a lot of money who are targeted on the regular with these kinds of things. So it is, they are both possible.
Yeah.
But to come back to actionable stuff,
well, you know,
it hasn't been confirmed that. Yeah, go on.
I'm sorry. Before we do that, so it sounds like you've, from what I'm understanding, what you said is that, look, you've been in communication with these people. These aren't noobs. These aren't newbies. These aren't guys that are going to be falling for every single phishing attempt. They're not going to these fake MyAlgo sites and importing their seeds on a whim because they're trying to make sure because they're on their phone and, you know, they're trying to get the Harem Boys mint going or whatever. They're not doing that. So what is actually happening, what you're saying is that phishing is probably not the way, right? And so I guess for people out there that might not completely understand this, if you could break down for me, and maybe this is where you were headed anyways, But if you could break down for me, if in fact MyAlgo is compromised, what is it? How are people, how is it being, what's the worst case scenario here that you think is actually possible? And then maybe try to say it in a way that we can all understand. I'll try to keep you, if you can make me understand, you can probably make these guys understand. So let's see. Yeah.
Okay. First, I need to tell you what I think you should do.
Okay.
If you have significant funds on MyAlgo, you should move them. If you have a governance commitment, maybe you could wait a few hours to see a few guides that are being developed right now on Twitter about rekeying your account. We can speak about that in a little bit.
Please.
And I believe, well, okay, it's Pera Web who is going to be coming out with rekeying functionality on Pera Web. You will be able to rekey your account. I believe this will happen today. And then on Pera Mobile, you will be able to have your potentially compromised account from MyAlgo on your mobile and a new account protecting it. And the seed phrase /private key used would be the new accounts which has not been exposed to the potential compromise of MyAlgo. This is basically the only route forward for people who have addresses minting NFT collections, right? You don't want to change that, and you don't want to lose access to that.
And then what about governance? Would you lose your governance?
So for governance, this is your no. You if you wait to rekey, you would not. Unless the transaction fee drops you below eligibility, obviously. But no, you shouldn't. The address doesn't change. The password to the account, so to speak, changes. It's like changing your password on your email, on your Gmail, let's say.
Okay, good.
So, yeah, I mean, there's no refunds in blockchain. So you gotta do your own risk assessment and consider for yourself that I might have no idea what I'm talking about, that there's a non-zero chance that these keys could be compromised. Okay, and you need to make your decisions based on that. That said, we have seen the attackers ignore up to 80,000 algo, or at least we have reports of that. And the smallest amount that we have seen moved is less than, let me actually check that. I think about 250K in algo. Yeah, about there.
Interject real quick. Have you guys been able to find any, how about finding the person doing this? Is there any clues? Is there any keys? Is there anything, you know, like, where are you on that?
Yes.
You have. Did you just say yes?
No. I said yes. There is something. Full stop.
There's something. Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, there's something that I'm not going to discuss here because it isn't complete and it's an ongoing thing, and I'm not the only one involved. So I'm mostly here to talk about the public aspects of this, which can be found on chain anyway, and to advise on what to do, because there's a little bit of an uncertainty, and the community reaction as well went from no, absolutely not, all the users lying, now straight to panic. So it's either one extreme or another. Yes, when MyAlgo advises to move your funds, you gotta do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, MyAlgo came out and told you to move your funds. So I don't know what other proof you need. Okay. So actionable things. I think that people might find some solace in the fact that you guys are on the beat, and there are some clues to where this is, where these funds are going. But okay, so actionable things. ReKeen Para is going to be adding functionality to that, and maybe before you go, we can talk about some of how easy that is. You know, I think a lot of people hear ReKey and they don't know what to do. Maybe we could talk about that now. If Para does add this functionality, I hear that DeFi already does. Am I correct about this? And how simple is this process?
Right. The process is very simple by its nature, pretty much, but it's also somewhat dangerous because it is irrevocable, and also you don't need authorization from the target account, you can just rekey to anyone, and they control your address. So it is possible to mess it up. So my advice would be to wait for guides to come out on Twitter. I've seen one showing how to do it on DFly. I have not used the ParaWeb interface because I don't have access to it yet. And always, always test it either with a disposable address on mainnet or on testnet, or even both. Yeah. Because this is an irrevocable action. If you rekey your account to my account, then only I can give it back, right? Yeah. So be careful. Try it out on testnet, or try it out with an account that has no value to you before you do it permanently.
Okay.
So someone in the chat saying about Ledger, get a Ledger. Yeah, get a Ledger. If you have more than, say, 1,000 USD, spending 150 out of that to get 2 Ledgers just to be safe is very well worth it.
Yes. Yes, sir. That's absolutely sure. And now that doesn't do anything for people that are going to be waiting for them in the mail for the next few days and watching this unfold. So that's why we need these other solutions where if you have a significant amount of funds and not a ledger on the MyAlgo wallet, there are also simple things you can do. You can literally just open up a Para account and get it and transfer your algo over there. But then the issue is, for a lot of people, is governance, right? So that's why people are waiting for this rekey. Okay, so if you don't have any other things that you want to say about what people should do, which I want you to obviously complete that, I would appreciate to kind of understand better what the worst case scenario this could be with MyAlgo, because obviously a lot of us are worried that MyAlgo is compromised, and that is, like I said, a massive L for the Algorand community if that's true. And if it's true, we should obviously know about it. But so what would that even look like? How does that even work? Because it's like, how would
look? I'm not going to play that because there's no good outcome out of discussing this. Either I predict a doomsday scenario and we are just panicking for no reason, or I say don't worry about it, it's nothing. And then something happens, and I'm the guy who don't worry, the building's on fire.
Well, I understand.
Look, that was just the intro. That was the full.
You said there was more than a non-zero chance that MyAlgo is compromised. Now, a lot of us in our understanding of wallets are wondering, well, how the hell would that even be?
Like I said, we haven't found that out yet. It's more by a process of elimination, which leads the two possibilities that I discussed. We don't know that this is the case, but knowing the people involved and the institutions involved, both of them seem highly enough unlikely that they are both non-zero as possibilities. So it is possible that all of these people went to myalgo.com.china and gave their seed phrase away, and then the attackers waited like weeks to months while they had access to millions of dollars, and then they just did it in 24 hours. Or it's possible that a few accounts were compromised, so that if your objective is financial gain and you can compromise less than 20 accounts and get away with more than 7 million USD, I think you would prefer to do that as opposed to 5,000 accounts and get, well, about half that, as a matter of fact, when the Solana wallet, forget what it's called, happened. Because you don't have the mass panic, you don't have people dumping, you don't, and you've already stolen enough. I think, I don't know that people try to maximize what they extract. If you already had, maybe this is a philosophical question to ask oneself individually. If I had access to $7 million belonging to 17 individuals or 15 individuals, would I go for $20 million, or even would I go for a little bit more belonging to thousands of people, or would I just steal from the rich and make it a lot easier on myself, because the investigation will take longer to ramp up? There's no panic, so the funds that I stole will, not devalue as quickly. Yeah.
Is it true that if there was a compromise on my algo, the hacker would actually literally have to go through these accounts one by one in order to drain accounts, which would obviously take a long time? Or is that not a true statement?
I I mean, if you have the seed phrase already, you could automate anything. But we haven't seen transactions timed in a fashion that suggests that something was automated.
Yeah. Oh man.
So we are now about I believe more than a week post attack. This entire thing happened like in a flash within 24 hours. So it's possible that things might start happening again.
Hmm.
It's I'm not going to take the responsibility of saying how likely it is, but I will present what we know so far.
Okay.
Um, like I said, there are no refunds. Move your stuff. If you have governance commitment, you can either rekey and try to keep it if you think you can do that successfully, or you can just like nope out of it and just get some MyAlgo and sacrifice some gains. Yeah.
Yep. That's it. I mean, that's what you can do. And there's ways to still earn yield if you're willing to continue to risk. You can lend your algo and earn on folks finance or something like that, or you can arbitrage g algo, whatever it is that you want to do to kind of make up for that governance interest loss. But that's not financial advice at all. Well, is there anything else that you would like to add? I mean, I Yeah, is there anything else? I mean, so from what I'm understanding is that you think it's unlikely to be phishing because of the profile of these people, and it seems like okay, maybe that is what happened because that's what we all kind of want it to be. Not that we want these people to have suffered, but we would like it to be that because then there's no real structural problems other than man, it sucks. But is there anything else you'd like to add? I mean, so you eliminated phishing. It sounds like you have eliminated the patching of the security of the Apple updates and Mac updates, and now you are exploring. You're in this kind of in between where you're not exactly sure. You don't want to say, okay, well, this potentially could be a this and this exploit on my algo because a we've seen this before in our ecosystem with the tiny man hack. If you give all that information out, then that just may invite other people to join in. Is that part of the concern?
No, not at all. I, I doubt that this is a concern. I've noticed a lot of people are asking about Ledger and MyAlgo.
Mhm.
So Ledger and MyAlgo should be secure because the seed phrase is never actually gets to MyAlgo.
That's the whole.
When you have a ledger, the entire point is that the seed phrase remains on the ledger,
Yeah.
and MyAlgo just passes it transactions. The only danger with having a ledger is the human element of just getting used to like sliding through and clicking approve. You need to force yourself to be diligent and to actually look at what you're signing because it is possible that a compromised, not just MyAlgo, but any wallet software would wait until you try to transact and then they'd swap out the address or the amount and you would just sign it mechanically. This is like, more advanced though, but yeah, Ledger MyAlgo should be fine.
And maybe this is something that you can help people out with. I think that there are people out there that are like, okay, everyone tells me that I need to check, these transactions, but they're like, when they look at it, they're seeing it's like, oh my God, like, what am I checking? I just go, I just want the money. It goes so fast. Algorand's great. But when you were looking at these transaction fields, what exactly should people be focusing on to make sure what they're signing is in fact what they're trying to do?
So the application calls are somewhat opaque. You can't really tell what they're doing. But when it's a transaction group, for instance, on Pera, you can tell what amounts you're sending and where.
Right.
That's what you want to be diligent about. So if you're trying to interact with 10 10 algo worth on Folks Finance and it's trying to send 1,000 somewhere, something is wrong. Cancel out of that.
Right. So
So if you
this is what you're looking for, folks, is that it's very simple. When you are checking your transaction, look to see how much is being moved, and that at least that matches with what you're trying to do and where it's going. If it says that it's, go ahead. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but go ahead.
I don't think I had anything
More.
else.
Okay. Well, look, you've been very patient with me as I kind of holler over you on occasion, and I really appreciate this. We obviously, the entire Algorand community, appreciates your contributions to it. You've been here. I don't know how long. Where are you based out of, by the way, Bit? Or do you mind telling me that? I don't know.
I'm on mainnet.
You're on mainnet. All right. And how long have you been active in the Algorand community, just out of curiosity?
Since December 21, so I guess a year and 3 months.
Well, it's fantastic. Is there anything else you would like to say to everybody out there?
For 5 people who have responded to our questionnaire, there was a question which read verbatim: when was the last time you restored your seed phrase on any wallet or device? If you don't recall, please estimate. If never, please write never. 5 people said never, that they have never entered their seed phrase anywhere.
Well, there you go.
So there is reasonable doubt, and this is what it's all about. If in blockchain you have reasonable doubt, you have to act precautionary.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you very much. As this unfolds, if you would be willing to come back on the show, if more things come out, you have an open invitation. I will be here every morning, PST time from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., 9 a.m. Eastern. And so I really appreciate you coming on here, taking the time and helping everybody understand what's going on.
I hope this added some clarity. I hope you can take some actionable advice out of this. And from my end, I try to be as accurate as possible.
I appreciate it. Okay, have a good rest of your day. We'll be following you. Follow this guy on Twitter. He'll keep you posted. All right.
Thanks for having me. Bye. Take care.
Well, there we go. There we go. Good times, right, guys? Okay, I see that is real bad. Wait, what? What is real bad? D13 fuck the world. Oh shit, Chris, what? Did you want to come on, Chris, and talk to me about why you're saying oh shit? What is real bad? Best practice. When I move any large sums, I still move a small sum first. Wait, yep. Well, guys, look, salute to D13. We still don't really know what's going on. I mean, I haven't been on Twitter. You guys want to, let's just look at Twitter real quick before I sign off. Okay, I don't have my DMs open. I'm okay. I can save it. All right, there we go. That's all good. Let me just, before I'm not sharing, right? No, you're good. You just see me. Let's just see if anybody's giving me some information here. Are you heading out to East Denver? I am not. All right. So there's no new information there. Let's see. Okay. Let's just go here. All right. So we're here on Twitter. We're here live on Twitter. Let's look at MyAlgo. Did anybody say anything over there? Okay, Michael Jordan is saying, don't panic. A handful of large accounts were drained. Good to take precautions. Here's an important message from the Algorand wallet called MyAlgo. We strongly advise all users to withdraw any funds from mnemonic wallets that were stored in MyAlgo. As we still don't know the root cause of recent hacks, we encourage everyone to take precautionary measures to protect their assets. Okay, well, there you go. Recently a targeted, so we got all that. MyAlgo, I guess there's not... Folks, John Woods says, folks, please see update from MyAlgo below. Okay. Okay, Paul Regal, head of product at Algorand Inc. Stay safe, move your funds if you're using MyAlgo wallet. What is that? When I go onto your website, this pops up. Threat secured. We've safely aborted connection on IPFS because it was infected with URL phishing. Kyle's been has been choosing violence recently, but for good reason. If you haven't already, I said moving your funds off MyAlgo onto a different algorithm, preferably cold storage. I hope Circle has been in touch with MyAlgo. This guy has tested America's best pillows. Look at that. Look at these pillows, folks. Coop and D13 discussing the MyAlgo wallet hacks right now. If you're interested, go ahead and like that. Thank you, Bama. Yeah. LOL, not to dump on MyAlgo too much, as I'd probably write the same thing if this were my company. Yeah, well, okay. But it's juicy irony of a bank saying, well, they're not a bank. Sorry, your funds in your account are gone when we got robbed, but it's your fault for using it. You really should have kept the money in a safe. I actually think I'm mostly safe because that's a joke I made earlier. Not even a joke. It's actually serious. I don't see how you can call yourself savvy. Okay, fine. I know we understand that. We all thought that. Rekey your account. All right, guys. I mean, let's see. There's this what about this guy? What's his name? There's this Kyle. What, I forgot his name. I think it's Rob Tessier. He was one of the first people to come out, and this guy, Dogecoin. Over 1 week later, better late than never. Get of MyAlgo now. All right. So MyAlgo Algorand hack. Finally, people will stop to tell me I was the issue. I mean, this is the deal, guys. I mean, obviously, we're all in the Algorand ecosystem, and we want this not to be at a core level the problem. So, of course, but we do in these situations need to be more careful about that. I mean, there's also there is the other side of this, that like in a murder investigation, you obviously look at the people directly involved first. So, I mean, look, you can't expect purity. We are a group of people trying to figure this out with our money on the line. So you're going to get all different types of things. You're going to get people pointing fingers. You're going to get people holier than thou. You're going to get people with empathy. You're going to get the whole gambit. I think it's advisable in life and in this situation not to expect people to behave the way you want them to, because they don't. They will let you down. Certainly I will, because I rebel against behaving the way you want me to. I don't like it. All right. Okay. So this is, can someone confirm if this means MyAlgo wallet stored seed phrases locally in the browser, making them vulnerable to cross-site scripting attacks? Now, I thought that that's how web wallets worked. Seems to invalidate they entered their seed into a phishing site. I don't think that anybody really thinks that this is that anymore, but I guess it's still a possibility. Squares with many not accessing wallet for months. Now, according to D13, everybody he's talked to, if I remember correctly, has signed in the last 4 to 5 weeks. Yep. Let's see if John Woods has said anything. John Woods likes Monero. He said that. I guess I could look at my notifications. The issue isn't with the apps. We understand. but you can. I had said, hey, it might be a good opportunity for Folks Finance and AlgoFi to come out and say, hey guys, everything is fine with what we got going on. Algo HQ said the issue isn't with the apps. Well, okay, but my request is, hey, Folks Finance is secure. If you have funds on here that are secure, don't worry about it. That's all I'm asking. This fucking guy. Merchant of Algo. Look how much fun I. Jesus Christ. How long ago did he do that? 3 minutes ago. This guy's hilarious. You guys need to, like, if you ever meet this man, give him a hug for me. Merchant of Algo, the star of Algorand. Me talking to Ja Rule. Absolutely. As soon as we have clarity on the cause, I'll do an explainer video. By the way, hot wallets being less secure is the same across all blockchains. Well, yes. Okay. So John is in the game here. Okay. The Sooner Info, this is Bank on Algorand. The Sooner Info, who has been around in the Algorand community since the beginning. And that's another thing. MyAlgo has been in this community since the very beginning. If you don't know, MyAlgo is done by Rand Labs. They're also responsible for Algo Explorer, and they're also responsible for the new upcoming cross-chain DEX C3 protocol, which has been getting a lot of hype lately and has a lot of institutional backing. So this is not the greatest for them as well. The sooner info about recent hacks can be released, the better. The unknown adds fear and uncertainty, infects everyone. We need a definitive answer. Was it a phish, malware, exploit, poor key management? Hot wallets have risk. We just need those risks defined. That's right. One of the main reasons to choose Algorand over other was security. This uncertainty around hot wallets vulnerabilities is bad. Okay, well, we can unequivocally say this has nothing to do with Algorand protocol. This does have to do with a very popular wallet on Algorand, the MyAlgo wallet. John Wood, absolutely. As soon as we have clarity on the cause, I'll do an explainer video. By the way, hot wallets being less secure is the same across all blockchains. Hot wallets are always risky. Well, that's true. That's true, isn't it? Okay. Well, I guess that's that, folks. GM to rekeen wallets. This is one of the main reasons I haven't moved out of my MyAlgo wallet, is that I don't want to mess up that Fractal Tamers quest. I'm almost there, folks. Is expected to come out with top quality rekeen support within the next few hours or day. So that the new CMO at the Algorand Foundation still hasn't followed a single person on Twitter. Yeah, where's my follow, Jessica? That's the issue right now. Way to keep 28 minutes ago. Prim, cutting edge issues with the Algorand ecosystem. This is where the Algorand Foundation needs to invest, and immediately. Help companies build secure wallets. This could turn into death sentence for Algo. All the marketing, DApp, DeFi, and NFT work goes down the drain if there's no secure hot wallet to use. Well, I mean, we have Para, which is formerly the official Algorand wallet. But yes, it would be better if MyAlgo was secure. This is your warning, Algo fam. All right, guys. Are you having fun? I don't even have I lost everybody. I'll go back to restream. No, I haven't lost everyone. That's a bit of a red. Oh, okay. So that that site of this phishing, the phishing thing that I showed you, that bit is telling me that is a bit of a red herring. They marked all of IPFS.io as a phishing site. Nothing to do with MyAlgo. Okay. So that thing about the phishing, whatever that was, that has nothing to do with MyAlgo. What is the best ledger? Well, just get the Ledger X, unless you're freaked out about the Bluetooth capability. Um, Good shout, Christopher. I have a trade wallet that I only use for connecting with apps. I think he was commenting on the never entered their phrase comment. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. 5 of them had never, don't remember, or have never entered their phrase, right? Does D13 have a donation wallet? Um, I don't know. I don't know. Do they have if they have a NF domain as their, I mean, I can check for you. Let's look. Let's look if they have a donation wallet. I don't know actually. I don't know if they have an NF domain. We can ask. I can ask him if he has a donation wallet, and we can do that. But I don't really. John Wood's tweet. But I don't really understand. So what happened? Was hacked MyAlgo, or is it just phishing? Yeah, that's what I was trying to, Mattia. That's what I was trying to get answered in the thing. He didn't want to really entertain what this worst case scenario could be. It sounds, there are rumors that MyAlgo has been warned about an issue. I heard, like, this is where it gets dicey, but I heard that the CTO of Yieldly a while back ago was calling out that this type of thing could happen. I don't know details on that, so I feel a little uncomfortable even saying it. I just hope the frozen assets can somehow find their way back to the people who were hacked. If those assets can be confirmed to be theirs, I would imagine. Now, YouTube. Hi, guys. Hi, Coop. Love you all. Love you too, Raphael. The phishing link was NFT specific. Are those pillows secure? I'm still sharing this. We don't need to share this anymore. Are we able to rekey with Para yet? Not yet. Thank you, David. If anyone can take your stuff whenever they want, just because you used a seed phrase, that's a yikes from me, dog. Dang, Randy. Dylan's got a yikes, brah. Yeah, no, if they can just take your key, that's not the way your seed phrase. Well, wait, stuff whenever they want just because you used the seed phrase. Well, I mean, look, this is, if malware, if you have somebody on your computer, if your computer is, there's no security with what you're doing on any level at that point. So, you do have to maintain security on your thing, right? And that's why a lot of people like to use phones as for their hot wallet, because at least you have that iPhone security, which is, it is world class. Coop being real, can't mess up those quests. For real, bro. Oh my god. No way Algorand didn't fund Rad Labs. Well, of course. I mean, look, the Algorand protocol is definitely separate, but Rand Labs has been there way from the beginning, and they obviously have all the support of Inc. and everybody. These guys have been around forever. At least Para Web Wallet that just came around would really suck to have no good web wallet on Algorand. I know that MetaMask is coming and I don't know the details of that, but we do know that MetaMask is coming. Para Web is definitely brand new, and Para is certainly mobile first. So don't go to Para Web expecting all the functionality of a beautiful web wallet. But the fact that it's here and they are working diligently to get rekey, capability so fast is good. But at the same time, if you have any holy grail NFTs in your MyAlgo wallet, it's time to send it. Send it to a different wallet for sure. Herring Rouge, red herring. Yeah, Avast is misconfigured. Indeed. Correct. Don't worry about it. Thanks for answering. Pablo created Rand after he left Algo Capital. If you rekeying your Algorand address, remember that if you close out the account, spend to zero, the rekeying will be cleared. Dragon. David, I don't think many people understand what that means. Yeah, this is the issue, is that we're going to have a lot of people panicking and they're going to be rekeying. And D13 made it very clear that there are risks to rekeying. It's a simple process, but if you screw it up, it can be permanent, like most things with blockchain. So it looks like, so we got to be careful, folks. We haven't seen anything. I'm assuming that most of you, if it's what D13 said is true, then only 17 to 18 wallets have been affected. And, I'm assuming that most of you aren't up there with 500,000 algo as a main target or something from people. That he did say that there was a wallet with 80,000 algo that was ignored, that could have happened, it could have taken place. That's, it's hard to make sense of all this, guys. All I know, and the way, I guess what I'll leave you with is this, is that if there is any chance that MyAlgo is compromised, which MyAlgo certainly has acknowledged this morning, if there's any chance, you need to take action to protect yourself. There's no point in waiting around with the information directly from MyAlgo that they still don't know. They still don't know. Move your stuff. Like, take action on some level. So if you have, Mingo rank 1 dancing in your MyAlgo wallet, or if you have, if you're the Gilbert, and you got Algoana 1 sitting in your hot wallet, like, move it. You know what I'm saying? Move it out of that wallet. And let's hope that this is not the worst case scenario, and let's move forward. But let's also, and remember, like, people are going to turn this into, oh, I thought Algorand was so perfect and so secure and so blah, 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 blah. This isn't the conversation. There's nothing wrong with Algorand. This isn't about the protocol. This is about hot wallets, and this is about a particular web wallet, and it's either phishing, malware, or something worse. And we're going to have to wait for the people that are smart to figure out if it's something worse. In the meantime, it's not advisable to sit around waiting for people to parent you in this situation. Like he said, there are no refunds in blockchain. Now, you have people like Nimble, and I'm assuming Day by Day and whatever, insurance protocols that theoretically in the future might help you protect this. But who cares? Who cares that theoretically they may protect you in the future? I don't care. That will bring a Web 2 safety, but you're playing the big boy. You're playing with the big boys right now, folks. And if you have something you don't want to lose, all advice points to move it off on MyAlgo. All right, guys. Is there any other questions? Crypto for change, but it gets people going. It's provocative. Okay. Rekeying will be cleared. AlgoFi commented. Okay, cool. Funds are safe if you Algo. Be poor, less risk. You guys just have fun staying poor. You know what I'm saying? Even if the Mingos be questing. Oh, man. Am I about to end my quests? God damn it. Coop, I need answers. Me too. If you have a limited edition Coop Fums, you better secure that. I really do. I better. I'm moving it. I do have a limited edition Coop's Fums. My bank is locked for another 90 days, but it's worth $25. I don't know, bank. Oh, that's another thing. That's my question, folks. If I've locked my, that's a question. If I've locked my bank, well, it doesn't matter. I'm not even using MyAlgo on there, but still. Can you transfer locked bank, or am I stuck with that one particular wallet until 2094 when I'm 175? Since I've locked my bank until I'm 175 years old, am I able to transfer locked bank to a different wallet? Probably not. All right, guys. Well, there we go. hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to talk about, look at all these notes, guys. Look how professional I was. I had all of these notes for my show today. I had fun things I was going to discuss. We have Tesla Investor Day on Wednesday. Oh boy. Guys, Target, Costco, we're going to get some retail information. Oh man. Well, again, I want to thank D13 for being awesome and, you know, talking to the madman on YouTube. Anybody, look at this. I found this in my closet. I got a He-Man toy. Would you guys like me to unbox this? Should I turn this? Should I turn the end of my episode into a YouTube unboxing of a He-Man toy? Okay, guys, I appreciate you, and I am I'll stay connected to this. The day is just starting. It is 7:16 on the West Coast. So I'm sure we're going to be getting more and more information. I will be on Twitter. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at Coop_Daniels. Make sure you're following D13. And yeah, I'll be back here tomorrow at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be talking about this. I want to talk about the new governance proposal. I want to talk about all of the things. And, you know, hopefully this gets resolved soon, and keep your funds safe. And I'm rooting for you guys. All right. Thank you. Thank you so much.